In this session, we're going to take a look at how to enable offline help for WebFOCUS. So by default, if you installed WebFOCUS on your system and go on the WebFOCUS system, so I'm running WebFOCUS in here. Whenever I go to my help on the system, so I go to help, I go to help, I go to the web client help, it's opening up some help information. And this will work as long as I'm online. So as you see in here, currently it's loading my system. So this thing is loaded from the internet. So by default, WebFOCUS help and all this information is loaded from the IBI internal system. So works fine for now. So how to move the help to my local system. So I don't want to use online help because people are not connected to the internet, or I don't want to pull that information from the internet. So how to avoid that one? So relatively straightforward. So the only thing you actually have to do is go to the documentation site, go to the EB documentation. So let's start from scratch. So and go to the doc site. I scroll down here and I'm going to go for IBI WebFOCUS. So there's my documentation. So to get to the documentation, to use it locally, I want to start with the WebFOCUS client. So there's two ways to download. So you can go to the web help, scroll down, and here's a download button to download the help. Currently, this one is not working, something that needs to be fixed. In case you want to go for the help and you're not able to download it from here, you could always go to download all docs. And doing so, I already downloaded and I put it into that folder. So you're going to get the WebFOCUS documentation in here. So that's the full documentation. If you open up that zip, it's going to contain all the documents that you see on that screen, including if you go to the side here, to the left-hand side, you see doc, and there's the HTML doc. So that's the way to get to that one. So let's do the same thing for the reporting server documentation. So if I go back to this page, I go to reporting server. You can download all docs from here. So download all docs or go to web help. Scroll down and just download help from here, which is only going to download the HTML part of the help. So one of the two options will work. So you decide, go in here, open it up, download from the start screen there, or download all docs to get all the documents. So, okay, now let's actually close all the windows that I don't need anymore. So let me go back over here. So in here, so let me close all those tabs, leave that one. So now we're here. So let's go offline now. So I'm just going to disable my network connection here. So now, of course, WebFOCUS is still going to work. Going over here. Going over here. Go to the help. Go to the WebFOCUS client help. As you see, that's the problem when you're not connected to the internet. So help is not loading now. So how to make that help work offline? So a few basic steps. So a few things you need to do. So let me go in here. So let me quickly refresh here my page. So we got our WebFOCUS system. We got our configuration in here. So let's take a look. So let's go for my WebFOCUS reporting server as well. So there's my WebFOCUS server. Let's double check in there as well. So in here, go for help. Again, you see, we're not connected. We're not getting the help documents from in there. So how to fix those two topics on both systems? So relatively straightforward. So first step to do is go to the files that we downloaded and go to the location where you got Tomcat installed. So in here, I got my web apps, I got my IBI help folder. So if you go one level up in here, go to conf, Catalina, localhost. In here, there's nothing configured in here, but Tomcat, web apps, IBI help. There's a folder IBI help that I have in here. So if it's not there, just create it in here, IBI help. So I'm gonna create a new subfolder in here. So call one of them RS. Call the other one WF. So now I'm gonna open up the reporting server help, which again is just the help document. So there's the HTML document. So I'm gonna go into that HTML folder and I'm gonna take all the content from this folder and actually put it into that RS folder. So it's gonna take a while. Let's complete it. So it's gonna copy all the files into that RS folder. Go one level up, go to the WF folder, close this document here. Then we're gonna go to the WebFOCUS document file. So we're gonna go to the docs folder. We're gonna go to the HTML folder. There's all the help for the WebFOCUS client. Copy them from here to there. So we're gonna copy all those elements over here. Remember, it's IBI_help WF. So moving all those files into that folder. So now we got a local copy of all the help-related content stored on our WebFOCUS reporting server. Got it in here. So let's move over to the second step in our configuration. So first thing to do is we're gonna go to the administration console. We're gonna go to the folder application, contexts. And by default in here, those three settings here point the documentation to our system in the cloud. So it's pointing to the online help. So just remove those two values here. And in here, again, for that one, remove everything besides IBI help / and add, because we're going for the client now. Remember, we put that one into the WF folder. So it's going to be WF. Now let's save that one. So that's the first step actually for our help. So we changed the help for the client. So by the way, I can sign out here. Let me sign in again to verify that it really is changed and saved. So in here we see it's in here, application context, sorry. Then we have it in here. So now we're going to do the same thing for the reporting server. To go for reporting server, we need to go to the server workspace here. And we're going to go for a configuration file. And what we're going to change now is we're going to go for the serve.cfg. And in this first block in here, you want to add the correct address of the new help. So in my specific situation, I already created my thing in here. So it's going to be this specific path is going to be the hosted help. So it's the address of my system in here for the reporting server help. So it's going to be machine name, port, IBI help. I created an RS folder. So we're going to keep and take that one. Going to put it over here and we're going to put it in here. So it's hosted underscore help underscore URL and then the URL for that help file. If you want to double check if that help thing really works, you can put it into the browser and see if it's there. So we got what we need in here. So looks good. Now we want to save that one. Okay, it's telling us, hey, reporting server needs to be restarted for this one to work. Okay, so second thing or last step that we have to do is we have to start and stop our Tomcat installation on the machine to make sure we're really getting to the recent version of the configuration. So first thing I'm going to do, so in here, close that, close my browser. We're gonna go for services. We're going to go for the Apache Tomcat that we're running for WebFOCUS. So open up that one up. I'm going to stop it now. I personally, to make sure every change is reflected, I like to go to the IBI folder, go to the Tomcat folder, go to the work directory, go to Catalina, and I usually go into that folder here, and you see all the information is cached in here. So after stopping Tomcat, I prefer to delete that content in that work directory, because that makes sure that whenever Tomcat restarts, Tomcat is going to redeploy all those applications. So if you're going to look into it, you see it's starting to redeploy all the content. So that's a good thing to make sure that it really picks up the last configuration. So now we're going to give Tomcat a little bit time to start. So it's a few seconds, minutes. Again, we're still offline in here, as you see. We have no connection to the internet. So let's see if Tomcat is already started. You see it's still starting, so it takes some time. You might want to open a new tab and close that one, so it's not going to spin forever. Take a little bit more time to wait. See when it's there. So again, depending on your machine, it's going to take shorter or longer to redeploy your Tomcat. Again, this one is slower than if you don't delete the work directory. Again, takes a little bit. Let's wait for it. There we go. It's loaded. So now we can go to WebFOCUS, log in again. Again, we're on the last page in here. So I can go to help now. I can go to help. There's the WebFOCUS client help. And there we go. So we're still offline. So as showed before, I'm still not connected to the internet anymore. So let me go back to my network interface. You see it's disabled. I'm not connected to the internet at all, but now I have help available. Again, in addition to what we just did, so you got all that help in here. I can easily move over and we go to that folder. So in here, you see that's the default page that we opened. So of course, that's the online help that we're working with. So you see that's the information on the page. So you got all the information. So let me go for this one. So You got all the information here. So that's the page that you're actually seeing on the element. So there's the information, there's the links, there's the drop-down box, there's all the information you saw on that specific screen. So of course, if you want to change those elements, you could do it. Easy to achieve. So, but you're running your help offline. So that's the WebFOCUS client help, of course. So moving back over here, you can also click on the help, and go for the reporting server help from here. And again, this is your offline help information. You see help RS stored on your local system. Same thing, of course, if you go for a reporting server interface directly. So we're bypassing the WebFOCUS hub, logging in here directly. You got a question mark in here. You can go to the help in here. And again, you're going to end up on the same help information that you ended up before. Okay, let's move back to the hub. So we're going to go over here. And actually, that's all you need to do to enable offline help for your system. Again, two issues or two things to keep in mind. If you're using that offline help, you might want to check the online help once in a while and update the content, because the advantages of the online help is A, you don't have to host it yourself, and B, it's going to be updated once in a while on the backend system without having you look into that help information, updating it yourself. But if help changes, just download it again, put it onto the system, and it's going to be there. So if you're upgrading to a new version of WebFOCUS, just simply make sure that you're updating your help information as well, re-downloading it. Okay, hope that helps. Have a great day. Bye-bye.